When we think about the origin of the next pandemic, we tend to look overseas. We picture distant rainforests or crowded wildlife markets. We rarely picture the garage at the end of a quiet suburban street. Yet recently, investigators breached everyday residential homes and found alarming stockpiles of unauthorized biological agents. Inside standard household refrigerators were vials of live COVID-19, HIV, and the deadliest forms of malaria, sitting right alongside hundreds of genetically engineered mice. For decades, scientists have braced for zoonotic spillover, the process where a virus jumps from animals to humans in nature, adapts to our immune systems, and begins spreading person to person. But the biological threat landscape has expanded far beyond natural ecosystems. Because of a massive federal oversight vacuum, foreign nationals and private entities can operate biofacilities on domestic soil, completely unmonitored by health authorities. The speed of modern transmission means the origin of a crisis no longer matters. With highly contagious pathogens stored in residential neighborhoods, a single accidental leak or improper disposal can trigger a worldwide catastrophe. Respiratory pathogens move with frightening speed. Once a virus adapts to human airways, modern commercial air travel acts as a global distribution network, allowing an outbreak to cross continents in hours and paralyze entire societies. Traditional defense strategies rely on screening international arrivals to catch these outbreaks at the border. Rogue pathogens housed inside local, unregulated laboratories bypass these international tripwires because they are already inside the country. These covert facilities often mask their operations using the cover of dual-use research. By registering as a legitimate medical testing or supply company, operators can hide dangerous pathogenic experimentation behind a facade of routine commercial activity. Without a comprehensive domestic monitoring system to verify what these companies are actually doing, any obscure warehouse or medical supply storefront becomes a potential ground zero. In this environment, physical borders offer zero protection. When one of these covert labs is finally discovered, the immediate response is overwhelming. Multi-agency task forces mobilize, deploying hazmat teams, aerial drones, and tactical robot dogs to assess environmental hazards before humans ever step inside. Inside, FBI scientists and bioinformatics experts painstakingly process thousands of unknown samples, running complex genetic sequencing to identify the exact strains present. It is a massive, highly coordinated forensic effort, but it is entirely reactive. This chart illustrates the persistent failure of our public health financing. We operate on a boom and bust cycle. During an act of crisis, the government floods health agencies with billions of dollars. As soon as the immediate panic fades, those budgets are slashed back down to flat lines. This erratic financial starvation cripples proactive defense. Local health departments cannot maintain consistent surveillance networks or retain specialized staff, forcing them to rely on outdated technology, like fax machines, to track modern disease outbreaks. Deploying tactical robots and specialized strike teams provides a sense of security, but it masks a public health system stripped of the resources it needs to detect a leak before it spreads. The risk extends beyond domestic policy. Global biological security depends entirely on early surveillance networks and the rapid, open sharing of data between nations. Right now, escalating geopolitical rivalries are actively eroding these international partnerships. Governments withhold data and attack multilateral institutions at the exact moment global coordination is most vital. Even the international agreements designed to keep us safe are failing. The Biological Weapons Convention bans the development of offensive biological agents, yet the treaty remains toothless because it lacks any mechanism for verification or on-site inspections. As biotechnology capabilities advance exponentially, the cooperative agreements meant to monitor them are fracturing. We are effectively blinding ourselves to emerging threats incubating abroad. Current modeling indicates that the environmental and social conditions for a global outbreak are occurring with increasing frequency, making a large-scale event a mathematical inevitability. To start closing the gap, lawmakers have introduced the Preventing Illegal Laboratories Act. This legislation would mandate strict federal reviews of high-containment labs and require a trackable logbook for any domestic transfer of highly pathogenic agents. A moment of wonder. Alongside new laws, science is deploying bioinformatics, a discipline that uses genomic sequencing to analyze the DNA of pathogens as they mutate in real time. When scientists pair artificial intelligence protein modeling with genomic wastewater surveillance, they can map out the evolutionary path of a virus and pinpoint local outbreaks days before a single patient shows up at a hospital. Mapping a mutation provides the intelligence, but stopping its spread requires a permanent structural framework to execute a response. Policy experts have proposed establishing an independent national board on pandemic preparedness. Located within the executive branch, this board would enforce rigorous benchmarks and hold both state and federal agencies accountable through annual public rankings. This graph illustrates the core financial requirement, a protected $4.5 billion annual fund, exclusively reserved for foundational public health infrastructure. By classifying this funding as mandatory, it legally bypasses appropriations, shielding health departments from routine budget cuts. Lasting protection against biological threats rests on a sustained commitment to public health infrastructure and the re-establishment of global cooperation.